our generation, people who went to school in Nigeria will know about the National Youth Service Program. Many countries have a national service program for youths. Some of them have it after high school. Most will have it after university or equivalent to university. For some countries, it's a military service. But for Nigeria, it's a civilian service. For those who are not from Nigeria, and the younger people who may have missed it, it's a civilian service where after your higher education, your post-secondary education, you have your qualification, you are sent to a place outside your state of origin to go and serve for 1 year. Now, that has a big advantage. It gives you experience you can start looking for jobs. Because one of the things, in my time in Australia, I find a lot of people, when they graduate and they go to look for a job, they employ only for what's your experience. And they have to go and do a volunteering assignment to get experience. If you're from Nigeria, if you train in Nigeria, after 1 year you have experience. Because you're sent to somewhere as close as possible to what you studied in the university. So by the end of that 1 year, you have experience you can put in your CV or resume. You are paid a stipend, not a full salary, a stipend for living, but the point is that you have experience. So for my own service, I was sent to Kano. Now before I continue, I don't know if you heard this in that the greatest liars are old people and foreigners. Because the old person will tell you, oh, back in my time, knowing that you are not in your time. Unfortunately, we have internet now. The foreigner will tell you, oh, back in my country, there's internet now. But I cannot say back in Kano because I have somebody who served in Kano with me. So anything I say, there's somebody who can verify. I have somebody who was in the same NYSC camp with me, so I cannot lie. I cannot use that back in my time. Okay, but in Kano, where we served, I was lucky. I studied land surveying. Whatever I think I do today, I'm actually a land surveyor by training. I was sent to a company that does construction, a construction company, Dozie Company Limited, that was doing roads and stadium project and the parliament building project. So as a young surveyor, it was exciting to actually go and practice all those things I've been learning for 4 years. And being young means I don't have experience. I have to learn, I have to practice from first principles. Sometimes I have to go and look in the textbook and remember what they say we should do and do it that way. And it was working. One of the reasons why the government introduced national service is that it allows us to integrate better. Because most people who serve, not most, but many people who serve get a job where they serve. Nigeria is so diverse that it is possible for you to stay in one part of Nigeria, do your primary to university, and not meet somebody from another part of Nigeria. So this way you're forced to go out of your comfort zone and meet somebody from a different part of Nigeria, and possibly, after that, get a job there and stay there. Thereby forcing, or trying to encourage, not just force, encourage integration. So when I was in Kano, the company I was working for was hoping that after my service, they would retain me as their surveyor. Because they didn't have a surveyor. They were so lucky. To see how important this program is for Nigeria in those days, I don't know about now. I've not been there for a long time, but in those days, this company had this project, this contract. They relied on 7 youth corpers to do it. Myself, a land surveyor, 1 architect graduate, and 5 civil engineers. And you wonder, what were they doing before they got us? Well, the truth is that the contract just came, and part of the citation that they had been promised that they were going to get 7 corpers. So they used that when they bid for the contract and got the contract. And they were now hoping that we would stay and then become the team that would do the job. But I had seen how things were going. I wasn't very comfortable with that. Yes, I was happy experimenting, going to the textbook to know what to do. But I wanted a place where there's something more mainstream. Remember in those days there was no internet. And we didn't have people who went to school and so no, they have career counselors, and we don't have career counselors. Your career counselor is your peer, the stories you gist you exchange in the evening. So through this exchange of gist, that time we used to party, it was in my party age. Through that partying group, I found out that there was a new ministry in Kano called the Ministry of Rural and Community Development. Now, trust a young person in Nigeria. I had to find out what this ministry was doing. Now, if you remember 1979-80, that was the time of Shagari, NPN, NPP, UPN. The senior government officials have loyalty to NPN, which is the federal government, the federal party. The local people have allegiance to PRP, the grassroots party, Kano's party. So now they've won, but they found out that they knew that they couldn't expect the senior officials to help them implement their programs because they campaigned on the strength of the Talakawa, the grassroots. The two main things were they're going to build feeder roads. In those days, many of the rural areas were not connected. They were going to do feeder roads and model villages. Now the importance of that is that we have, that part at that time had scattered settlements. So what the government campaigned on is that they were going to build model, when all these scattered settlements will come together and have a planned settlement, a model village. Now to do that, you need a surveyor. But they knew that the established ministries were not going to help them achieve this thing. So they created this new super ministry called Ministry of Rural and Community Development. It's a super ministry because every other mainstream ministry, there's a small section in that ministry. There's a health section, there's a work section, there's the engineering section, there's the education section. The idea is, let the established ministries do the things they used to do, but let's use this ministry to go into the grassroots where they will not go, to reach at the most remote level of the state. So that was the idea. So when I heard about this, I said, this is where I'm going to work. So after my youth corps, I got graduated. The company offered me a job. I said no. I turned them down. Took my CV and ironed my shirt. My shirt, you have to iron it and put starch and make it iron very well, tuck it in. I took my CV in a folder. My CV at that time was all of 2 pages, double spaced. So I had this 2 pages double spaced CV, put it in my arm, ironed my shirt, and took a taxi. You know, the taxi drop was 50 kobo. And this place was opposite the post office. So I took a taxi there, got off the taxi, I went to the gate. Remember, I didn't know anybody. Walked up to the gate man at the gate. At that time, my husband was still fluent because I started in Kafanchan. So I told him, I said, I want to see the chief engineer. I said, well, if I'm the chief engineer, we don't have a chief engineer here. I did not understand that by civil service protocol, there's one chief engineer in the state, and that is in the Ministry of Works. So this ministry has a chief projects coordinator. He told me there's no chief engineer, but there's a chief project coordinator, so I want to see him. Remember, I don't know anybody, I have no appointment, I just got off a taxi, went to the gate man and said, I want to see the chief engineer. He took me, and I followed him, went to this office, told the secretary, said, this man wants to see your guy. The woman took my name, I wrote my name, she said, sit down. The young man, sit down, I sat down. He took my name, went to inside the office, went to the guy, and gave him my name, said, this person wants to see you. The man did not say send him in. He got up from his desk, walked to the secretary's place. He said, young man, you want to see me? I said, yes. Come in. I followed this man to his office. Now, the office is one of those, I don't know if you've been to of a very big man in Nigeria. They make it so big that by the time you get to the place, you are shaking. But I had something going for me. As soon as we crossed, I said, a way to deal with that shame, with that fear, is to start telling him what I want from the door. Because if I had to walk there, I would lose my composure. So I started at the door telling him what I want. He sat down and said, okay, put my CV in front of it, and opened it. He said, what did you say? I said, surveying, land surveying? I said, yes. So we don't have a position for land surveying in this ministry. Now, you're talking to a Nigerian. But, okay, you need one. So tell me how. It's okay. And for the young people who are still looking for jobs, it's always good to do your research and find out what the people you're going to apply to are doing. Without internet, then I've already did my research. I know that I say your ministry is supposed to be doing feeder roads and model villages. I say yes. I say you need a surveyor to do that. He said, but we have the Ministry of Land and Survey. I said, no, sir. That ministry will be doing cadastral surveying. So what's that? That's the surveying you do when you want to buy and sell land and do estates. They will not do your feeder roads for you. They will not do your model villages for you. You need your own surveyor to do it. This is a young person who just finished with God, talking to this man whose head can touch the ceiling. You need your own surveyor to do it. He kept arguing with me, I kept explaining to him. He made some notes. He said, come with me. I followed him. He so thought I had to run to catch up with him. He went to the commissioner. Now, the minister of the state is called a commissioner. Went to the commissioner. Their mates say, sir, we need to employ this man. I almost missed. Oh. He said, sir, we need to employ this man. Okay, he was still agreeing with me. He didn't tell me he's agreed with me, but just say, it's okay. See that young man. What did you say? I said, surveying. The same thing. But we don't have a surveyor. He said, but we need him. So how do we do it? The minister, the commissioner pressed a bell. Train. The secretary came in and said, can you bring the organic ground? But they opened there. In my presence, they didn't say go and come back tomorrow. Opened it there, started looking. Oh, we have a position here. You're a graduate here, you need level 8, yes. We have a level 8 for mechanical here. And we are getting somebody who we sent on scholarship to come back from America for that one. But he didn't get his degree, so we can put him on the technical level 8 and put you here. Right there and there, there's no go and come back. Open the organic ground in my presence. I was looking with them and said, there's a level 8 here. So, under the delegated authority, we can employ you here on level 8. And then put that man who will design the position in the level 8 of technical because he didn't get his degree, he failed. But he's still coming back. The sponsors had to give him a job. So thank you, sir. Press the bell again, same thing. Can you get the form for him? There, I followed the man back, fill the form there, put it there, say, come back and start work tomorrow. Come back and start work tomorrow. But the first thing is, we now have to find how do we get money to finance this thing. So there again, he called me. This is now the chief project coordinator. We finished with the minister, he done his job. Started looking at money, move here. And then before you know it, we managed to squirrel out 25,000 naira. That's a lot of money in those days. That is, there and then 25,000 naira were identified to set up a surveying section that didn't exist before. It's okay, come back tomorrow and start work. Your first job is to give me the staffing that we need for that thing and the list of equipment we need to buy for that section. That was Nigeria for you. And that's how I started work. I'll leave part two of the story for where we continue.
Well done, Dozie. When he started, he said he was 4.5, so he was going to give a half story.